Revolution Escape the Matrix since 2006. And we've seen him grow into an unbelievable writer. He started off as one of our journalists, and he has made his way to be an author. So it's a wonderful thing to see somebody start from the bottom and work their way to the top. 2 years. 2 years, for those of you who don't know, he has worked on this book. 2 years. So right now, we just want to share some memories real quick before we bring him up on stage.
So, in 2008, I self-published a book of poetry. And, right now, not too long after that, Chavez would always, like, send me notes on Facebook or on Twitter or text or whatever, or emails, asking about different steps of the publishing process. And it just makes me feel proud today to see him actually with a book, because a lot of times people ask you those questions with no intention of ever writing anything or ever releasing anything. They use it as a ploy for other means. So it's just to know that he asked me all of those questions, and then I would read tweets or Facebook statuses saying, okay, well, I got 2 hours to write, or I have this much time to put in. And to know that he actually followed through, it's like heartwarming to be able to stand here and just say that, like, he asked for advice, and I was able to give it, which I guess would be like paying it forward. Because a lot of artists are selfish, and they won't tell you what to do. So I just feel grateful that he came to me, and I was able to offer advice to help him get to make this.
Give it up for that. My memory pretty much spans our life as far as being each other's lives as we were kids. To watch somebody, you know, when we were little, and just like playing around and all that kind of stuff, and then getting to the point where we had this space in between us. For a certain amount of years, you know, I'm older, so there was a time I went off to high school. He's younger. We had a separation where we didn't really talk as much, different groups of friends, all that stuff. And then we get older, and we come back together again in 2006. And it's awesome because Escape the Matrix started, and I can honestly say, from the very beginning, there are only about 4 of us who are part of the original Escape the Matrix family, and he's one of them, you know? So it means a lot to me because he has been serious from the start. He came into the magazine as a journalist, right at the bottom, made his way to youth editor, then made his way to editor of the arts section. And he continued to grow and grow and grow. And there were so many people who were a part of Escape the Matrix who fell off. They considered it a hobby. And when we were talking the other day, I told him, you never lost sight of your passion, of your goal. You are a journalist. You are a writer. And he has always been serious about that. At all times, his word has always been important to him. I love him for that. Because you find a lot of people that they believe that this is what it is they want to do, then they get tired, that's not really what I want to do, I'm bored with it. He has stuck with that from the beginning until now. And he's gone through hardships that he may share when he gets on the stage, but I'm proud of him for that too. He has gone through a lot of stuff that would break down a lesser man. And he has still kept walking the entire time. I'm so proud of him. So I bring up to the stage now our friend, our family, Chavez L.
Good evening, everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, especially my family, my friends, and my supporters. Can't even believe all these people came out for me. Well, I mean, everyone who just clapped for me, like I had no idea. No, I'm not nervous. I'm just taking all this in. My stuff. No, I'm just taking this. I'm taking all of this in. It just feels good because I've been doing this for 2 years. I've been writing this book for 2 years, and the stuff I've been through, I don't even know how I'm still alive and able to smile. I mean, I've been gay bashed before. I've went through a lot of financial things. Been through a lot of relationship issues which inspired this book. It just feels so surreal to sit right here and just be able to talk about my book, and just to be able to see my name right here. It's surreal. I mean, I don't think anyone really knows. I feel like Adele or somebody just sitting here at the school. But I lost the chapter that I'm going to read. But I'm going to briefly tell you about the book. The book is called Nice Guys Don't Finish Last. I got the name because a few years ago, I got into an altercation with someone. And they basically try to make me seem like I was a weak person because I'm very kind-hearted and I'm very nice. But basically they told me that I will always finish last because I'm a nice guy. So as I was writing this book, I was searching for different titles that could be appropriate for the book. And I thought back to what this person said to me, and I was like, what's a positive way to make nice guys finish last? And I just put the don't in it. So this is the story talks about a relationship between two guys, an aspiring R&B singer. The other is a Marine. The R&B singer, he is very cocky. He's very cocky. The only thing that he thinks about is himself and his music career. And Abdul bends over backwards for him. He would do anything for him. He would get shot for him. But he gets nothing back in return. So, has anybody else been in a one-sided relationship before? Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So when trials and tribulations arise in their relationship, Abdul's attention starts to go elsewhere. So the question is he going to give in to temptation, or is he not? You know, to search for something better. But I wanted to take the time out to read one of the chapters. I lost it when I was about to cry. So I know I'm being long-winded, I'm sorry, guys. Okay. This chapter is called Save the Hero. It's in the middle, but I want to read this. I sat in the Exxon parking lot, reading Nico's text message over and over, searching for a correct response. Grudges are redundant and serves no purpose in the end. But I'm eager to make him feel the way I did when he treated me like manure. Why say something in which brings unhappiness to you? Have you ever been in love with someone and attempted to give your all, but the second party made it hard for you? Call me with your answers and let me know how you feel about this topic. You are listening to LaDawn Black on 92K. The radio personalities definitely say before playing If This Bird Were Mine. Is it a coincidence she would even ask a question similar to my relationship? Would it be the best decision if I called in to gain advice? Our relationship is jam-packed with secrets and a bad headspace. Speaking of secrets, he has no idea my sergeant reached out to me during the trip to the doctors. They want me to fight an Iraq with them, and it is the most terrifying thought ever. Honestly, I fought my entire life whether against the social service system, being a parentless child, or a bully at school. The terrorist attacks in Japan 2 years ago on my relationship. I lived my life protecting the world. But when will anyone ever guard me? Where will someone have my back when my endurance diminishes? That was one of the most tender and sincere vocalists ever to sing, the late Luther Vandross. Before the break, I asked if you've ever been in love with someone and tried to give your all, but your partner continues to challenge your feelings and take your love for granted. I have a caller on the line. What do you think? LaDawn asked the caller on the radio as I carried the volume up. Well, LaDawn, there's a gentleman I've been dating for a year, and I love him to death, but he constantly tells me I place my job before him. I try to make time for him the best way I can, but I have a serious passion for my career, and he knew this prior to the relationship, but he's not understanding it, the female caller said. So you are speaking from a perspective of actually taking your partner for granted. Very interesting. So what kind of work do you do? I am a lawyer and is very demanding. I want to make it clear that I do not take him for granted at all. I worship the ground he stands on, and I would do anything for my man. I just cannot devote all of my time to him. He tells me every chance he gets I'm not loving him the way he deserves to. But I'm not as affectionate as I used to be, the caller said as I visualized her to be kooky with eyeglasses and a cinnamon bun in her hair. What type of work he does? LaDawn asked. He is a police officer, so he should understand how difficult it is. I agree, but echoes like there is a deeper issue than your job to me. Perhaps maybe there is an issue with the intimacy level between you two. Every chance you get, you should be able to lay down with your man and tell him how much you love him. The smallest things make a relationship work, LaDawn advised. I understand that, but I don't feel like kissing or having sex with him every night, the caller said. Intimacy does not equate to sex. As I stated earlier, a phrase as simple as I love you or a compliment to your man could really make a difference. I am not inferring you to take him for granted, but display appreciation for your man. He sounds like a good guy, LaDawn insisted in her seductive tone. He is a good guy, and I want to make this work. Thanks for your advice, LaDawn, she said as her voice faded and a beat transitioned into the speakers. The words vibrated into my ears, and LaDawn could feel my pain through this call because she played every significant song to my emotions. I couldn't fathom I would ever be without your love. Never imagined I'd be sitting here by myself. Because I didn't know you, I didn't know me, but I thought I knew everything I never felt. Mariah Carey sung as my eyes filled with anguish, reflecting on the good moments we shared together. What if the bad outweighs the good? Stubbornness convinced me to maintain a grudge as I acknowledge how nice guys are bolted over when they make a careless mistake, and grudges are held against them forever. When others hurt me, I easily forgive them. They yield my kindness for a weakness, and it's time to put an end to it. We belong together. Mariah belted through the speakers as I switched the station to the oldies but goodies. I suddenly received a tap on my car window by an older white cop with gray hair. Beard belly hanging over his belt, appeared stocking a tight grip on his gun on the side of his love handles. Although I work in the law enforcement field, I dislike cops with a passion for their laziness and advantage of their power. I know all of y'all feel that way. Is everything all right in there, sir? I noticed you have been sitting there for an hour, the officer said. I am about to leave in a few minutes. I had some things on my mind, officer, I said. But I'm sure there are other places for that. You're taking up space here, young man. He scratched his head. Okay, I just need to go back in so I can get another pack of cigarettes and I'll be on my way home. Son, I don't care what you do. I just want you to stop sitting out here in this parking lot because it will become suspicious, he said with concern. Besides, I'm about to be off duty, so I thought I would give you a warning. The barely frame in contrast to his seemingly generous personality threw me for a loop. Thanks for reaching out, sir, I said. You have a good night and stay out of trouble, he said as he walked away and his silhouette faded. Before pulling off, I had a sudden urge to get an Arizona iced tea and grandma cookies. I got out of the car and proceeded inside the gas station. The Arabic cashier stood behind the counter noticeably in desperation to go home. I could only imagine what his life is like back at home. Maybe married with 2 kids and living in an apartment struggling to maintain grueling 12-hour shifts. Is this the only thing you're getting? The cashier asked in his broken English accent. Yes, sir, I don't need anything else, I said. That would be $3.89, he said. Drop everything you have in your hands and hold your motherfucking hands up. 2 guys in black ski masks with large caliber shotguns yelled as my mind completely froze. The 5 years of training in the Marines were thrown out of the window. Do you think we are fucking playing? Give us everything in that register. One yelled, aiming the gun as the cashier cried, trying to open the register. As the other robber held his gun against my spine. I can't open it, he cried. Please do not kill me. I have a family. I have a 6-month-old daughter and I'd do anything for her. The cashier said, stumbling over the English words he tried to speak. Would you die for her? One of the robbers asked. Please don't make me answer. He continued to cry as he finally got the register open. Answered the fucking question. Would you die for her? The robber asked again. Man, just take the money and run. He already got the register open, the other robber said. Shut the fuck up, both of you. Would you die for her? He asked the cashier again. Yes, I would die for her. I would die for my daughter. I would die for her. He cried louder. Good, I hope your daughter knows she had a brave father. He yelled as he pulled the trigger, blowing every inch of the cashier's head off. Blood matter sprayed everywhere as I was in total disbelief, and my soap opera story soon rotated into the 20th installment of the Scream series. Hey boss, what do you want to do with this one right here? The other robber asked forcefully with the gun against my spine. I don't care, kill him too, he replied. I don't want to kill him. I want to play with him a little bit, the other robber said. Do what you want, but I'm getting this cash, the robber said as he hopped over the counter and avoided the cashier's body. He was heartless and didn't have any compassion for those who stood before him. In consideration of all the drills I passed in the service, my mind gone completely blank. So what do you think we should do to you? The robber asked as I stood there in silence. At this point, I thought to murder would be murdered. I don't know, man. Do what you gotta do, I replied. You hear that? He said, do what we gotta do, he yelled to the robber. Well, you heard him. Do what you gotta do. He threw the money in a black trash bag. You know what? I think I like you. Have you ever been fucked in the ass before? The other robber asked. Look, man. Do what you have to do. I yelled to the top of my lungs as I elbowed him in the chin and easily snatched the gun away. Did y'all enjoy that? Does anyone have any questions? At all? You can buy the book on Tuesday. I'm sorry that I didn't have any copies to sell tonight, but I will have copies. Well, you can give them. You can log on createaspace.com, Amazon.com, e-stores, and local bookstores. On Tuesday. Oh, it's $12.75. I'm sorry. I would like to ask my mother to come up here. And I would like for my father to stand up too, because he has been a part.
Thank you for letting us be here tonight, and first and foremost, I would like to thank God for blessing us all to be here tonight. Family, oh, I love family so much. All the friends here, I just love them. Oh, yes. But it has been a journey, and a wonderful journey, I must say. I am really a proud mother of children of 2. You know, I call them kids. I mean, I don't mean to. I know they 24 and 22, but it's just something that I do, and I guess I'll be doing it the rest of my life. But I watch I only had 4 minutes. I remember 4 minutes. Oh, okay. Wait a minute, I'm just trying to make sure. But I just want to tell y'all a little something about me and Chavez. We are something else together. I tell you, we are. Y'all just see us in that house here. Yes, and they say, I know. Well, that's what you want to say. You say I'm a nuisance. But look, let me tell you, you're a nuisance too. Trust me, believe that. Trust me. Yes, believe me. You'd be like, Mom, you need to go somewhere. And I'll be saying to myself, you need to go somewhere. So, it feels mutual, so it's all good.
No, it's not. I can be gone for 2 hours and you call. I had an interview at the radio station.
Oh, yeah.
And she called saying, hi.
Well, I didn't know it, but you.
I'm Chavez Brown's mom, and I wanted to know if he was still in the studio because it's getting late.
I didn't know. I really didn't know. But this what he did. Because I'm going to tell y'all what he did. A lot of times I'm around the house, and I'm fussing about something. Something is going on. I could be on the phone, I could be whatever. And I'm having out. I give my opinion, and I said, well, Vance, please don't tell me about nothing. But anyway, back to the radio station. Well, wait a minute, let me tell you. So I was talking to my daughter, and she called me, she said, Mom, Vance still there. Now, why she need to tell me that? She said, Mom, he's still, I said, yo, it's 10:30. And so then she said, Ma, I heard his voice, but I can't hear nothing. So I said, I'm trying to, okay. I told her. No. I'm okay. Okay. Well, anyway, I called the cell phone. I couldn't get the cell phone. So I said, no. I said, I seen a number on that computer and I'm calling it. So Ray said, Ma, you gonna call that? I said, absolutely. You know I am. I'll track y'all down wherever it is I need to find y'all just to make sure you're okay. Well, anyway, I called the radio station and I did. I said, hi, this is Chavez Brown's mom. And did not know I was on. Yes, I seen the record. He did like this on there. Yes, that's it. It's on there. Y'all gotta see it. It's a mess. But anyway, yes, he was like, oh my gosh, like I'm 12 years old, like he just said.
And then she called me by my nickname.
Yes, yes, I did. And Terrence was wonderful. The guy that did it, oh my gosh, I had a roll with Terrence. Yes, Terrence, that's the man right there. But anyway, so we started talking, right? And so he was like, I said, I just want to know if my son is still, and Bear said, yeah, I'm still here, I'm interviewing. And I thought that I was just on speakerphone. I ain't know, so. Right, I really did. So he said, I said, oh my gosh, I'm sorry that I cut through. And Terrence was all for it. He said, oh no, that's okay, Mom. No, you stay right here. And then he got to asking me about the book. I said, I'm on top of the world, honey. Yes, I am. I'm on top. And I told him he needed to come and see the product. Where this came from. You see now, right? So, okay. So anyway, when I picked Vance up, he was like, Mom, don't you know you was on air? I said, no, He said, yes, you was. I said, what? Girl, I got to see that, y'all, and I was on there. I mean, loud and clear. Yeah. So I told him one more thing. I said to him, that's what you get. Now we really on, what you put me on all the time, Facebook, YouTube. I don't know nothing about them things. I know something. Yeah, YouTube. Now we really on YouTube. Where we at, man? Oh, well, we on YouTube. Okay, but thank y'all, and I'm so proud of myself. Yes, he read that book because he swear he English teacher. So he was the one who, said the writings and this and that. Wonderful. Family been very supportive. Thank y'all. Love you, boo-boo. We on our next book. All right.
Coming out tonight. I was so nervous coming up here first. But I really appreciate this experience. This is a stepping stone, and I know this will not be the last time, so I better get used to speaking.
Amen.
So, good night, everyone.